Howdy folks, my name is Rosemary James Stewart, also known as Cozy Cowboy on the interwebs. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a bit of an experiment. It's a series that I kind of want to try out. I want to see how viable it is for a brand new player, someone who hasn't played MTGO or Pauper before, to actually, get off the ground, and how well someone who just is brand new to the game can do competitively. As you can see, this is a completely brand new account. I've started playing Pauper probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And as you can see, I've gotten into MTGO, and right now I'm doing the Mana Traders 10 ticket free rental program. So we're going to see how someone like me can do with just a free program and some basic knowledge of Magic the Gathering. A little background on me: I've been playing Magic in general for probably close to 7 years now. I started playing in middle school, and right now I'm in college. So I have a lot of experience with Magic the Gathering itself, but not with this format. I've never played an actual paper tournament. The closest thing I've ever done is a pre-release, and I really want to see how far someone like me can get with what is essentially a free deck, a loaner. For this, I will be playing Mono Black Sack. As you can see, I'm running a pretty standard Mono Black Sack list. This is net decked straight from Paupergeddon results last year. It's a list that I've played with once or twice so far. I really like it. I think it has a nice play pattern, and Mono Black Sack in general is a pretty user-friendly build for the most part. Some neat stuff you can do. I like the addition of Peregrine Beckoner here as essentially just a different version of Stamina. And then in the sideboard, the only actual change I've had to make that might hurt my competitive viability is, instead of running Snuff Out, I'm running 2 copies of Go for the Throat, which is, I think it's safe to say, significantly worse. I mean, you always have to hardcast Go for the Throat, whereas you have the option with Snuff Out. But I do think, as far as budget goes, this keeps me under 10 tickets, and it's not a terrible trade-off. So we're going to play a couple of matches, Pauper best of 3, see what we can do. I know we're going to be playing against mostly a lot of jank here. I played a couple of matches in Moto Open Queue so far. For the most part, it's been, some janky stuff. I played against like a 3-color Mogwarts. I played against what was essentially like a landfall combo deck. I've played against some really, neat things. This is kind of my way of getting my bearings in the format. I plan on playing these for a couple more days until we get to the point where I'm ready to take a challenge. And we'll move up in the actual event schedule and trying things that are more difficult. But for now, we're kind of in our training arc. I've been just grinding out these best of 3s. I'll talk you through all my decision making, what I'm doing. I'm going to make a lot of misplays. I'm new to the format. I'm new to playing Mono Black Sack. It's not one of the ones I run in paper. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm playing a little bit slow or making a lot of misplays. I don't think I can keep this hand. I like Village Rites and Corrupted Conviction, obviously. But my only target here is Mortician Beetle, and I don't want to leave it up to the draw, so we'll mulligan here. This hand is significantly worse, so we'll mulligan down to 5 here. That's pretty rough. This is a much more playable hand, though. I think we'll put 1 land on the bottom, and then we'll probably pitch Unearth here. Okay, it looks like we're against Elves. Not a great matchup for Black Sack as far as I know. We'll get out the Mortician Beetle here. Next turn, I'm probably looking to play the second swap, get out a Carrion Feeder, and then start drawing some. Priest of Titania, turn 2. It's about ideal as it gets for this mono green Elves deck. Oh, they tapped 2 for another Birchlore Rangers. Man, that's a really nice play for them. I totally just skipped over my combat there. I'm pretty new to Moto in general, so it's par for the course, I suppose. probably be better to hold that until the end step, but I think it's fine if we just play through it there. Not the best, but we have a third swamp off of the draw. Dang, 3 Birchlore Rangers. It's pretty rough for us. I think this game is already out of control. I don't know if we can get back into this with the Priest of Titania. Yeah, we'll just go to the next one. We don't really have a clear game plan there, and I think they just win. Okay, we'll bring in the Drown in Sorrow. And then I think Tragic Slips are better than Go for the Throat here. So we'll bring in 3 Tragic Slips, and then we'll take out... Don't exactly know what to sideboard out here. Okay, we're going to take out some Accursed Marauders, because that's just bad against Elves. They're going to have enough that it doesn't matter. I think I'll take out one of the Blood-Thrown Vampires. I don't really like them, and I think we're going to struggle to keep up with Elves anyway, so it's better to keep a bunch of 1-drops that are mostly playable than some 2-drops that I really can't get out of my hand. I don't like this hand at all, but it is playable. I think we're going to keep it. Just hope we draw into something. There's a lot of draws here that are good for us, and on the play it's fine if we're a little bit slower. Okay, they're going to mulligan to 5. Which is nice for us. With how little they can play, or how little Elves has to play lands in general, it's probably not as bad as me going down to 5. Yeah, see, because they get Llanowar Elves. Turn 1. That puts them in a really good spot. But we're not in a bad spot either. I think we go... Okay, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to Village Rites the Ghast, so that we can nuke their Elves. Hopefully that sets them back like I hope it will, and then just get a Shambler out and pass all the way. Okay, Quirion Ranger. Okay, they're going to get to recycle a land drop. I imagine we'll see maybe another Llanowar Elves come out. A Birchlore Ranger, same difference. It's possible they tap 2 there. Okay, nice. Player land for turn. I think it's better here to get out a Shambler. And then Conviction it. I don't like that they just get to keep setting up, but we'll Village Rites the Squirrel again. Okay. That puts us in a good spot. I think going into next turn, we can, like, swamp into Bloodthrone, and then Supernatural Stamina the Nested Shambler to get a bunch of stuff there. I probably should have kept Village Rites in hand, so I'd have a more efficient way to cast that, or a more efficient way to sacrifice, but be okay. And now they have a Priest of Titania, so, like, 1,000,000 mana. Okay. Alright, Tragic Slip is really nice because we can use it on Priest of Titania. So I think we'll go Bloodthrone here. Then we can Supernatural Stamina. Well, actually, we can do that on a later turn. I think we just get rid of the Titania here. And then I think the ideal play is to hold on to the Nested Shambler here for the Supernatural Stamina. I think we can sort of safely swing in with that. I don't hate that. I'm okay with that. Okay, they've got their pump spell up now. +3/+3 on Timberwatch. We need to get a grower out. We're kind of doing a lot of nothing. Can't attack with anything, so we'll use, I think we'll go Supernatural on Nested Shambler. And then we will sacrifice our Nested Shambler to get some squirrels. Sweet. That puts us in a really good spot. They have a blocker. Wish I could do something about that. I would just really like an outlet here. I think we'll put out an Infestation Sage here, but hold back the Nested Shambler just because I don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket. And I think the move is we swing with everything, and if anything gets blocked, we just do a little sack. We'll leave back a Nested Shambler, actually, and I think we'll play another one, because they could have 3 attackers, and any of them could be pumped by Timberwatch. Or they'll have 2 attackers. They could have... I don't see how they could have, like, a hasty third one, but that's fine. 2 blocks here, yep. We will go... Sacrifice. We'll, get rid of a squirrel here. Maybe not ideal. But getting the Quirion Ranger out of there isn't bad. Just because it'll stop their untap shenanigans. And then I think it's at most they're coming with either 1 pumped or 2 not. So I think we'll hold on to the Nested Shambler. Just in case they're holding on to... I'm not sure what board wipes Green might have. I don't know that they have any. Okay. I'm sure they do some shenanigans here with the Quirion Rangers and the Timberwatch Elves to just make a really big Birch Lore. But with no trample, I'm not really sweating it. Okay, I don't love that. Because it does... I would rather have something that's, like, actually actively useful to me. Like, a Nested Shambler's fine. But the longer I stall out this board here, the more mana generation they can get. And then they can get to a point where it's, you know, if they have, like... I mean, they have the Birch Lore. If they can get, like, a Llanowar Elves or any of the other Llanowar Elves clones, it doesn't look great for me. We'll go to combat. They have 4 attackers here. Okay, guess we'll just go in with Blood Throne. If they want to block, they can. Sacrifice a Infestation Sage here, I think, because it gives us the same amount of blockers. Okay, they're going to pump here for 4. That'll make it a 5/5. So I can sack another in response. Can actually sack 2 more. I mean, if they want to go to war with the Quirion Rangers, I guess I'm okay with that. And then we'll get another sacrifice here off of Squirrel to make it a 7/7. Yep, they're gonna... Sure. I imagine now they're gonna tap down the Timberwatch. And that's for what? For another 4. That puts it at 9/9. I can match that. It's a little rough for me, but I think I have to hold on to this Blood Throne with no other. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked with this. I guess I wasn't anticipating this thing. I'm not used to Elves. Elves is probably, of the matchups I've seen, my least favorite. They could still Quirion Ranger again if they really want to, which I think they probably will. Yeah. Yep. And then, honestly, it's putting them so far behind that I think I'm okay doing this. It means I'm gonna take some on the backswing, but I think that's amicable for me. They can't Quirion Ranger anymore, so they lose this. That ate a lot of clock. I think we're gonna skip combat here, just until we get something. Yep, they're gonna get through. I can probably, like, literally all I can do at this point is just staying alive, which is fine. But, you know, until I get something that's actually good here, I mean, I can nuke their board, maybe. It's a really rough matchup for Mono Black Sack. Probably my least favorite matchup in possibly the whole format. Here's what we're gonna do. We get a quick scoop. Alright, that was a really rough matchup, but I think we just run it back. Hope we don't run into Elves again. We're going to lose the die roll, so we're going to be on the draw here, which is fine. I think for the Elves matchup in the future, I probably need to sideboard in a lot more removal, just so I can get rid of their key pieces. I really like this hand. Carrion Feeder's nice, Supernatural Stamina, and Infestation Sage. It gives me stuff to do while I wait to draw in the things. I am still learning how to, parse MTGO's interface. Looks like we might be up against White Weenie here. That'd be my best guess. Which is, two fair decks. I think it's a pretty neat matchup. I think Black Sack tends to do better against White Weenie. I think the play here is to get the Nezumi Link Breaker out, then stam it so that we can have the mercenaries in the future. To do something with for a nested shambler. That's what I'm thinking of. I could nuke one of these mercenary tokens to get in a swing here, but I don't think I need to. I think technically speaking, I'm the control player against White Weenie because they're playing a little lower to the ground and they're not trying to build up the same way Black Sack is. So we'll stall out. I don't need to get in a lot of attacks because I have ways around their board state. It's probably good here to just put a mercenary token in front of it, but I don't love that. I think we'll just take it, because there are ways to gain life. Oh, Leonardo gets in. Leonardo is such a great pickup in these White Weenie decks. I started playing White Weenie a little bit on Untap because of this Leonardo card. It's just so fun. It just feels so good in White Weenie, especially if you can build up a board state and then you sneak in. It's usually a guaranteed 2 damage, and it's like a core Skyfisher. We've seen some plays where you can, do it after a Battle Screech or something for a guaranteed 5 damage and then bounce something you want. So yeah, they're going to put a core Skyfisher in their hand because they don't need it anymore. Here's what I think we're going to do. No Nested Shambler. I think we warp in Perigee. Well, is it that much better than an Enduring Stamina? Get the Infestation Stage out there. I really would like a Nested Shambler here. Or a Rites of Consumption, maybe. So I think we'll hold off. Get out Blood Throne. Swing in with Lafeeder. They'll probably let it through. It's fine by me. Oh, they had a second Battle Screech, that's why. Okay, Battle Screech is really bad for us here. Obviously, they get to do it twice, and that just makes Leonardo so big it's kind of out of reach. Oh, wow, and they had the other Battle Screech still in their graveyard. What a swing. Jeez. Okay. That gives me a turn to figure stuff out, but that's really bad. That's a huge Leonardo. Play land for turn. Then I think we have to Perigee maybe or Infestation Sage. We'll warp it in. All those blockers is really rough for us. Just see what they want to block with here. They'll throw a bird in front of it, of course. Lunarch Veteran's good. They probably just drew that because you'd want that before your huge Battle Screech turn. They're probably going to come in with Leonardo. And then every flyer on the planet. Those flyers are really going to hurt. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't throw everything at me. I can definitely get rid of a Raffine's, which is nice. Go to declare blockers. We'll put Thorn in front of there. Then the insect token in front of Leo. Then we will sacrifice the token, trade with Raffine's, come out of that. I probably should have sacrificed a little bit more there. I don't know why I wouldn't do the Infestation Sage there, but that's fine. Okay, sweet. That's exactly what we want here. Village Rites on the Infestation Sage. Draw up some cards, see what we can do. Mortician Beetle would be nice. 3 Carrion Feeders is kind of bad. We've seen 3 Carrion Feeders and 3 Nezumi Link Breakers. Let's get a Link Breaker out. I think we just gotta try and keep getting through with Carrion Feeder, which sucks. Though I think if we have multiple Carrion Feeders, it makes our life a little easier because we can swing them both and then just pump the one that doesn't get blocked, so they're forced to double block every time. It's not gonna be great, like it's not gonna work out really the way we want it to, but gotta play this a little faster. We're still on round 1. We've already burned through a fifth of our clock. It's not too bad, but I mean they're in a better spot than I am, of course. I would just throw a bird in front. Looks like they're just gonna take it. I would like to pump it before that happens, but I think we just gotta play it safe and keep as many blockers back as possible. Thraben Charm is brutal here. I think we'll blow up our Carrion Feeder here just because it's gone anyways, so we can get another counter. They could have a Prismatic Strands here. That's realistically the only thing I think I'm actually worried about. Carrion Feeder can't block. Oh. Okay, we'll throw a Nezumi Life Break in front of it. Throw a Mercenary token, so if they... Well, if they... We'll double block here. Because if they have a Prismatic, no matter what, this dies. Oof. Yeah, I think that's game. I should have seen that coming. Here comes Guardian's Pledge. And remove the sideboard. We could bring in a Tragic Slip, could bring in a Go for the Throat. I mean, I like Tragic Slip more than Go for the Throat for Leonardo. So we'll bring in 3 Tragic Slip. And I think we have to bring in 3 Life Staff. Well, maybe we just bring in... Maybe we just bring in 1. Because if we get either a Drown in Sorrow or a Life Staff, both of those work for us. Maybe we'll bring in 2. Cape 5 gotta come out. Get rid of Rites of Consumption. But I like the Sylvok better than Rites of Consumption here. We'll get rid of our Accursed Marauders. Those are never going to hit what we want them to. Get rid of a Blood Throne. I don't know how useful that actually is for us. We get to go first. And this hand is amazing. Nested Shambler, Blood Throne, Mortician. This is exactly what we want, I think. This is an ideal hand. And then Drown in Sorrow to hold up. Yeah. Get the Mortician Beetle out super fast. I get a Lunark out early. I think we just get more cards here. We could pump up the Blood Throne, but I don't know that we'll ever get around what they have out. Nice, and then we have a Tragic Slip there as some pretty tough spot removal. I think we're in a great spot. I should have attacked there. Oops. Just getting used to MTGO and how it works, so I'm gonna make silly slip-ups like that. Imagine we'll see a... Wow, that is a really early Thraben Charm. That's a really nice play. Sure. What can we realistically actually do here? We probably need to get Blood Thrown out of our hand. I think that's what we'll do. Just set up. Now that Mortician's gone. And then I really desperately want to block the Lunark Veteran, because they could have a Leonardo here, and last time that hit the board that was bad for us. Though we do have, like, Tragic Slip, so I don't know how worried I actually am about Leonardo hitting the board. I'm actually more worried about their Lunark Veteran just getting the game out of reach. Kind of want to land here. Sweet! A Drown in Sorrow here feels too early. Then I want to save the Tragic Slip for something I'm actually worried about. No, I do think we have to get rid of the Lunark Veteran now before the game gets out of control. Because if they just gain enough life, it's a almost guaranteed loss for me. And then we'll get out some sack outlets. Okay, we'll move to combat. We're gonna play the Nezumi now so that we can hopefully get those Merc tokens later, or have them ready to go for when Shambler comes in. They're not going to block here, but I'll get rid of the Nezumi anyways. They're going to get a Battle Screech here, which is nice because we had the Drown in Sorrow in hand. We will, I think, sack everything here. Get the insect token out of here too. And then we'll tap 3 and play Drown in Sorrow. Get rid of their board, and we can swing in for 9 there. It's a pretty good trade. Yeah, I'm okay to keep that on top. We'll move to combat. Go in with Blood Throne. Puts him at 11. I think that was a pretty good turn for all intents and purposes. Just not sure what we do after that. They still have 3 cards in hand, so they're going to have a play here, I imagine. But I mean, we're in a position where we can still gain some life. Could still get in for some damage with Blood Throne. They'll get the Luminous Phantom out of the graveyard. I imagine they're holding on to something like the Raven Charm here. We'll Nested Shambler. And then I think the move is to warp in Peregrine Beckoner. I would like to get the Sylvok Lifestaff out of my hand, but as it stands right now, I don't think it's I don't think I need to be gaining life unless they start getting off the ground more, because that Drown in Sorrow puts them behind, and so I need to play the beat down while I'm ahead. We'll go in with just with Blood Throne. If they don't want to block it, we win the game, but they're going to block it. Okay, they're gonna draw. Looks like they didn't get anything. And then we'll let Peregrine Beckoner get out of here. Pretty good turn. Gives us a nice wide board. Still have 3 cards in hand. Lunarch Veteran's good. Oof. A Battle Screech is good, because now they're right back in it, and they gain a bunch of life off of Lunarch. Lunarch Veteran's just so resilient. And they got 2, so. Now we go the life gain plan. Empty our hand. Sacrifice the Nezumi so I can have it on a later turn for the Nested Shambler. I'm always forgetting to put my abilities on the stack. No response. They have no cards in hand now. I mean, they have a clue token out, but we're in a good spot, I think, as long as we can keep gaining life. We just got to play a little faster. Journey to Nowhere is really rough, because that basically it gets rid of our Blood Throne with no counterplay. So that's gone. And then they're going to get in for 4 in the air. Man. No good. I think that is a loss for us. GG. So that was day 1. We did not win one, but I think we hung in there quite a while. We played against White Weenie, which I'm not sure that it's a bad matchup for us per se, but it doesn't feel good. And then Elves, which is just not a good matchup at all. I'll be doing a little bit of research on my downtime, finding out what I should be sideboarding in situations like this, but I'm kind of happy with the progress we made today. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end. I'm making these videos, you know, just out of the love I have for Magic and the desire to start making content. If you enjoyed them, you know what to do. You're on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll be seeing you soon.